everyone, and welcome back to War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. We're back on November 29th, 1943, as we wrap up the month. So, my opponent sent me this message in the email. He said, I think every one of your subs fired a torpedo today. So far, two have engaged without any torpedoes, so there's that. But I'm very curious exactly what we're going to be doing today. See, still no torpedoes there. Okay, there's one. So now I don't know if he means just encounters, but if he counts the encounters so far, what was that, 3? Well, 3 subs, because 3 out of the 5 encounters I've been observed so far were the same sub. Here's a blue fish. Okay, there's one. I mean, I guess we'll find out. Let's just watch it and see. Both torpedoes hit that one, it'll sink. This sub does not engage, but oh, I think. Wait. Oh yeah. Oh, that hurts. But okay, so in the process, okay, the K-18 did not get a torpedo off, submerged. It was being attacked so much that it surfaced, and in surfacing, the tanker fired, and we torpedoed the tanker. That is hilarious. So the Kyokuho Maru should have just left well enough alone. But instead, we were able to sink this tanker. That's too bad. I didn't get to see. We'll find. Actually, we'll find out. I think how good this tanker is. Yeah, we lose that. Oh, we hit an Ebo. I think this is what he's talking about, where like literally every one of our subs was engaged. Again, not every sub fired a torpedo, but every sub looks like it was engaged. And we whiffed on that cargo ship. That's unfortunate. I'm kind of flying through these a little bit just because it looks like too many misses, and I'm just trying to move on. Well, that's a bummer that we lost the K-18, but we do get a tanker. I don't know if that's a good trade-off. I say that because, yeah, I want the tanker sunk, but we'd like to preserve our submarines for even more cargo ship duty later. If he's going to keep dive bombing, pardon me, if he's going to keep dive bombing at Wenchow, I will be happy to have those Bofors parked there, just shredding his dive bombers. I think at some point it's not worth losing Sally's here or Helen's, because he's not making enough of a dent, or he'll have to climb higher to avoid our flag. Wow, that's a pretty Pretty good run, attack run. So you see heavies coming in here. I decided I'm going to have a rotation of heavies. We're going to come from Prom, rest, come from Tungu, rest, and, you know, keep overlapping like that so that we can keep the pressure on these troops. Because the Chinese troops are going to cross that river and run into this head on. And I don't, I just assume not lose all of them. Knock out these Helens, which are a little bit better than his Sallies. Alright, I wouldn't be opposed to having some more sub action, but I think that's pretty much going to be it for the day. Okay. See if we get any good reinforcements and push on here. Hmm. Okay, we are back here on November 30th, 1943. Okay, that was weird. I know you've probably seen that black screen before, but that lasted quite a bit longer than it usually does for this loading. But anyway, as long as we can see the action, right? All right. So after this, okay, depth charge is done. We hear that it sank. So, and the Triton is attacking on the surface with some okay, just fire some torpedoes. Alright, this should go down. I'm going to go ahead and advance this. Now, I don't see anything about oil or fuel burning, so we'll, I don't know what it's carrying. If anything, maybe it's returning empty. But check this out. The train just unloaded all of their ammunition. Oh, that would have been cool. The O-24 is caught out here by Singapore in the shallows, but we evade any issues here. All right, he's got plenty of subs in the area, and our destroyer escort caught the I-162 below our. This is where our cargo ships are trying to come in and bring some supplies. We have a follow-up with. All right, direct hit there, internal explosion. Ooh, okay. So we have a follow-up of little LSTs coming as well. I'm trying to see, the reason I'm watching this is I like to see how damaged what kind of damage we're causing. Because if it's light damage and the game tells us we sank the I-162, I can shrug it off. But this, if it tells us this sank, I'm still probably going to shrug it off. But that's it says heavy damage. I try to listen for a sub sinking, but I don't hear it. So I'm going to presume that's already loud enough. I'm going to turn it down actually, but I'm going to presume it survives unless I can hear it sink. Yeah, no expectations on these E-boats. They're small, small and fast, hard to hit. Yeah, the LST's made it also. Okay, the I-157, we have escort here, so I'm not sure why we didn't fire back. Ooh, the bonefish, 5 hits. That's not great. The reason I don't watch the damage on my boats, is because I can usually just review after the action and see what kind of damage or status I'm in. So, alright, we're going in. Hopefully, gonna hit this. We're gonna hit this every day until our Chinese troops get in here. And here come. Oh man! And I didn't cover the air. That's just sinking all of them. Yep, he sank all of my LSTs. So he's really focusing on this base here with air. That's fine because I haven't really been active in that area with ships. So he's occupying like a couple of squadrons that direction. Now I failed my boys because I didn't have any cover cap over there. So. Alright, well. Doing some damage. Not a lot, but not zero either. So we will be getting in reinforcements a lot of air transports. Plus, we have a lot that I basically disbanded all of our well, not all, but a lot of our air transports because, well, I didn't disband, I withdrew, technically speaking. And that gave us a lot of aircraft in our pool. So we'll be able to restock our squadrons and get some air transports back operating here. I'll probably bring something down to Rangoon so I can keep air supplying Fort Blair. But okay, so I lost the destroyer escort for being able to sink that boy. Okay, deliberate attack? What? Well, let's see. He's brought some extra troops. Let's see how we do. Whoa! 1 to 3. Okay. I see. He brought in another division or something and decided to take the plunge. Wow. That's pretty damaging. Most of it's disabled, but this is going to require time and supplies to recover. And we lost significantly less destroyed and disabled. So we should recover quite fine, well enough. The problem is we have nowhere to go if we get destroyed there or defeated. So maybe that's fine too. We'll just hold him off and let him crush us if he decides to. Alright, so that wraps the turn up. And we'll talk about some things like I was saying last time. We'll talk about high level things, I think. And also see what's coming down the pipeline. See if we get any reinforcements here. Okay, nice. Yeah, these are all those air transports I was talking about. Okay, I thought I'd start here. Now, like these C-87s or basically B-24s converted to air transports. The hope, I mean they're 30, the size 30. We only have 15 sitting here. I'm probably, but we only have the one, I think, the one unit. So we'll probably let it fill up on its own. Um, and then we need to equip it with pilots. But so I put all my aircraft in the pool, the prior air squadrons I withdrew. I also put all the air transport crew in reserve here, because and that's kind of by default anyway when you're withdrawing. And so we can just get all these characters and fill this out. and probably just let it, let it go. Um, as soon as it's filled out or whatever. So we're gonna have 22 shortly, and in fact, what I might do is get another. Well, I'll wait and see if I have plenty of pilots and maybe throw in additional reservists. And then we'll just, what I like to do with these long range, I have no idea what I'm doing. What I mean by that is I don't know if this is, oops, wrong one. I don't know if this is advisable. For one, I don't know if the patrol level rest 40 is worth it or good. If I should do 50 or 60. But then I like to supply all the way. I may fly all the way to Sion for these guys because they can reach at 20. Now it's gonna probably put wear and tear, so I may not do this. But I feel like it's very important to get some supplies into Sion directly. And then the rest I'll do without boring you with it. But we've got this British air transport is training so that we can have some reserves because we don't have any reserves on the British. Um, at least, yeah, C0. So I'm kind of trying to build up a pool. So that's what those guys are doing, and then we'll just fill out some of these other squadrons. You can see here we put a bunch of C-47s in the pool and a bunch of C-46s. I say a bunch, not as much as we want, 48 total for 2 squadrons. And then I believe, where did they go? We got another one. Maybe this. What's this? Oh, this just arrived. Okay. And I'm gonna look around the map and make sure we're grabbing all the things that we have, all the new squadrons and things. Um, but I just wanted to point that out, and hopefully we'll at least fill out this C-47 to 48. That should be very easy to do. We've got plenty of air units. We've got these squadrons here that are still operational. We've got this CNAC has a different pool of C-46s, and that's why it's full, so that's good. All right, let's Wendover Field. Where I believe I think it's central U.S. somewhere. Is it this? Oh no. Okay, and we can't move out of here, can we? Nope. So I'm gonna have to get one of these engineer units here to repair these and get them out, get them in action. So these 3 squadrons arrived also this morning. Now we'll look at some of this other stuff, but I just wanted to also, well, we'll talk about that later. So 4 losses to 8, 1 to 2. Of course, we lost a lot of ships, so that's a trade-off. 4 Sallies, Helen, Oscar, Jake, and Judy. We lost a Dauntless, probably in a Hellcat carrier action. Okay, so you can see here what's what. The Sallies, okay, probably over China, but anyway. Did we lose any pilots? 1 killed. All right, this is going to be a bad day for us. Now, we did sink 3 of their ships, although, let's see, 25 points versus 30. Okay, that's fair trade. We did lose this decent destroyer escort, but it's not one of our best. I don't I'm not like trying to lose my ships, but all right. So group reinforcement. We just got those air transports, but we're also going to get at Ledo. Now this was just transferred from Karachi. So we're trying to get it into the Chinese theater, and then fast forward, we've got some other things coming here. Okay, force serviceable. So we're gonna have to get it right off of Socotra because I don't want this thing sitting there um, getting depleted. All right, moving on. Oh, what's this? Oh, this is one that I believe we withdrew and it's finally we withdrew and yeah, it's coming back with 0 aircraft in it. And we'll just let it sit there and we'll eventually maybe upgrade, get it fitted out with some other things. All right, we got some A20Gs coming. Okay, let's take a look at ship. Actually, kind of want to see, well, I'll show you group withdrawal. You can see in the next few days, within this month, these 5 squadrons are going to need to be pulled. That's not too bad. And then a bunch of stuff, some Chinese air units, and then some, yeah, some have to withdraw some recon aircraft, etc. But ship availability, we got a carrier coming in 13 days, a light carrier in 11. Let's just do sort it by ETA and see if we see anything cool like of the Wake Island, the Langley, Intrepid, and then a lot of escort vessels too. So that's gonna be nice. Look at all that. Destroyer escorts and so on and so on and so on. Okay, and then ship withdrawal. We have some subs that are gonna need to be pulled soon. Um, Well, I say so, not even within the year. So this is February 1. We got plenty of time. And then, fortunately, I haven't had any issues getting these ships to withdrawal points timely. I've never had one where it carried over the next flipped the next day and we had to pay for it. Ground reinforcement. What do we got coming here? Some American units. Uh, we've got an amphibious force coming. We only have one of these so far, so this is our second one. Um, nice rifle squad 44. Well, are any of these gonna come in? Nope. All right, that's fine. I like these amphibious brigades. 72. Okay. I'm just seeing like 44, Rifle Squad 44. So that means we'll be getting Rifle Squad 44 pool. Let's check. Let's take a look. USA Rifle Squad 44. We are already acquiring them. We get 80 per month, and we should get 80 this month of 43, and then also 80 this month of 44, and that'll take several months for us to get to have enough for a full division. We have 1,000 Rifle Squad 43 in pool, and we have almost 1,000 Marines, and then yeah. So this is okay. So this will be good to get some stuff going there. Um, and we've got plenty of Shermans. I don't know where they get fitted because most of our tank units are the light tanks. So we have mostly these M5. We need mostly these M5 Stewart, which we get all the way into 45. which apparently is good enough for our for the campaign against Japan because we don't have to worry about heavy tanks or anything destroying our M5s. All right. Now, one of the things that excites me probably as much as anything is new aircraft. I don't know why. I just like when we get some new toys to play with in the air. So the British, pardon me, this month the British are going to have the Corsair coming out at about one every 2 days. The C60, this doesn't carry a lot of load anyway, but that's okay. I mean, probably we'll mostly use it for training, and even if we do supply or repair a drop, if if you have enough, this will have some effect. The P38J is coming out. Now, it's not coming out at a high rate of production. However, the P38H is flipping to P38J. Let's find that if we can. I mean, maybe that's going to take, there it is. So it's already turned off. You can see the red here. It's already turned off, and this 40 will flip down to the P38J. I don't know exactly when, if it's like within a day or two, but so we should be making about 1.5 every day. And once that kicks into gear, and then we can start upgrading our P38s to the J model. And then we don't get very many of these P40N26 Warhawks, unless I don't think there's a factory for them. Well, let me finish here. This is Night Fighter, and it looks like we get a few months worth of Night Fighters, naval Night Fighters, so that's going to be interesting. This is a naval version of the B-25, and we'll definitely make use of it. I'm not sure what this is for, if it's shipping, so we'll probably put these somewhere where we can have them on ASW action. It's not too bad with the radius either. And then we've got these, not at a great rate, 8 per day. Sorry, 8 per month. This is the monthly replacement rate. So probably one every like 4 days. That's very slow, but decent radius. I mean, okay radius. Search aircraft. We could put it on naval search, but we could also. I mean, this is pretty good bomb load too. We could even just strategic bomb or whatever. But in any case, we probably won't use it in that way. We'll probably just have it like maybe ASW or search action. But let me do a quick thing here. P40N5. Okay, so there's no factory production here of these P40s. So the P40N5 we will produce still till June 44. However, it looks like we're getting a supplemental aircraft, a P40, and it looks like with the camera, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to use this. If it'll be a recon or if it'll be an attack aircraft that might take pictures while it's attacking. I'm not 100% sure. In fact, I wonder if this thing can do sweeps and take pictures at the same time. That would be interesting because if you were able to do that, you could definitely take advantage of um, kind of a dual purpose sweep and get some good intel at the same time. These P51As, by the way, just to visit this real quick, we get it for 2 more months, and so we'll get 18 more of these roughly, and that means 26 total, 25 or 26 of these P51As. That's one squadron, which is nice. We'll take it. but we really need to get into these higher production, uh, aircraft quantity. I'm talking about P-51B at 30, and then this 30 will drop down here to make the P-51D up to 120. So we'll be making 120 of these plus 30 replace. So this thing will be making 150 or 5 per day of P-51D. But in the meantime, we have to wait until November of 44. So in the meantime, we're just going to be making these P-51Bs for only 8 months at 30. That means 240 of these P-51Bs, which is not quite 10. We'll just say 9. That's to fill out 9 fighter squadrons. Now, the Ds will be very useful because we can fill out even more. But it'd be nice to have more of these A's and B's so that we can get some serious firepower of worth of fighters. Now, when I say firepower, I don't mean gun value, but just ability. But check this out. We are getting a lot of in March of 44. We're going to be getting um, even more than the P-51D. We're going to be getting about four, no, sorry, six, almost six per day of these guys. And these guys aren't quite as maneuverable as the P-51, but they have look at this high ceiling. And as far as I'm talking about actionable ceiling, up to 42,000 total, and good, decent climb rate, I should say. Eight, we got a 24 gun value, so this thing is going to be just probably one of our um, best aircraft in the sky, even to the end of the war. So that'll be good to get into action, and but it's okay. So never. Let me see if I'm getting this right. So yeah, we are going to be getting 175 for 3 months because you can see here. So now, no, for 4 months, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for 4 months, so that's going to be like a lot. We're going to have a lot of these P-47s. Then comes out the N, which we don't get. And this is even better aircraft, by the way, better climb rate. And the N will get us through the end of the war. But first of all, it doesn't come out till March of 45, and then we only get 100 per month. So we're going to have to make do with what we get here for only 4 months. We're going to have to make these last. I don't know the number, 4 times 175, but I guess 2 is 350, so 700. So we're going to have 700 aircraft when this is done, and that'll have to last us till March of 45. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point, but I'm kind of intrigued and interested in what's to come. But we first have to get through December, and then we got some stuff coming in January that I'm looking forward to. And I guess that's that. So let's real quick, high level. I'm not going to talk about like specific operations, but Wake has some air units. We know that some kind of like search planes flying way down here, spotting us easily. Let's target this. He easily can reach out here and spot some things. But I'm going to ignore it at least with my carriers, and for now I'm just moving on. And as far as, let's just talk about December right now. I'm not going to talk too far in the future. December, we're not doing this in December. Maybe 44, like spring of 44. But right now, I'm finishing up the operation here at Majuro, and then I'll probably consolidate maybe at Ponape or something and try to think about what Central Pacific's goal is. Are we gonna go here to Sadawal and with some kind of air cover supporting us? Probably not, because this base is worthless. And then I look over here, and this base is just as worthless. I mean, overall it's not, but specifically for my goal is, it would just be a fighter base that would fighter base, I guess, that could air fly cover over Ulithi, but I don't know. It's an option, I guess, but just as good of an option would be to come up this way from Ternate to Peleliu and work our way this way. Now, surely he's built this up to a serious fortress, but we can work our way from here to Yap, and so I keep island hopping up here. So that's certainly an option. But this from here, I'll just say the line here to the east, that's 44 and beyond. So I'll be revisiting this probably January, February. I'll be talking about this more as I have my carrier groups even more filled out, some air units, like serious air power in these areas here, projecting our power eastward, and most importantly, pushing up into Philippines. Because with that push, I think he's gonna find that holding these is gonna start getting less holding these won't be as valuable anymore, and because we can just bypass them, we can just work our way all the way up and get into Formosa here, um, and we can threaten the home islands from Formosa and some of these islands here, perhaps anyway. I don't see any good air bases here, but oh no, no, two. Okay, Ishigaki and Miyako-jima. These are actually decent, so I can threaten his home islands from this way, and bypass the Bonin Islands. I know that this historically is where they go, where the Allies go, and Okinawa, but we could just put the pressure on from up in this area. And so that's where my eyes are right now. So December, here's what I think. Well, we're already pulling the trigger on Ternate, and we're already pulling the trigger on Banjawangi. So I think December you're going to see us invade Mindanao and working our way up. This may take us a month, maybe 2 months. There's a lot of terrain issues, and I still don't know everything he has up here, which reminds me, I need to get some recon up into Manado and start looking at these bases. And then we'll be working our way. Maybe we can secure in December half of Java, give or take. And I probably will not invade these Borneo bases just yet. Probably what I'll do is I'll secure Java and secure Mindanao. That makes Tarakan Balikpapan basically obsolete, or irrelevant, I should say. And then we work our way up these islands, doing some island hopping until we get up to um, Luzon, work our way up, and try to. I'll probably work my way up like this, but if we run into any serious resistance, we can do a naval invasion, beyond. Anyway, yeah, so uh, December and December. And then we'll go and we'll see. Maybe I expand this while we're still in the month of December. Maybe I hop into some of these other places, or maybe I do end up, for example, Banjarmas and something like that. We'll see. And up here, the goal in December is to break the line, break open here, uh, that effectively surrounds, isolates these troops, and then we can basically um, hopefully eliminate them, capture them, defeat them, and this stalemate may last through December, just because I'm gonna keep probing because I don't look once we get. The thing is, I don't want to push into here. For example, let's say we secure this and push into here. I mean, he's got so many troops here. He could move here, block us, cut the Chinese out of supply. I just I don't know where exactly how this is going to play out yet. So one step at a time, but December is going to be a month where we kind of keep the pressure on, particularly with uh, attacks where it's convenient, but I was going to say particular with air power. We're going to keep the air power just the air power, air pressure on, and keep leaning on our advantage in the air. Um, what is this? Oh, so these guys are. I'm gonna let them go back. There's no rush to upgrade, but there's also no reason not to. They're. I try to keep them busy, but I don't want to. Might as well let them get some better. Look at that. We can double the anti-aircraft, almost, with this upgrade, and with these significant upgrade with air anti-air. So with we're not even at 700, but with these upgrades, we can get over 1,000. And with these Japanese torpedo bombers in the area, I'd like to minimize my chances of losing. And so this was a complete waste coming over here. Now I may have sunk a sub, but that's not worth it. I'm not gonna cry over it. I mean, I made the decision, I pulled the trigger, I'm moving on, but it's a waste in the sense that we got zero supplies off the ships, and that I should have protected it with air. Uh, I'm, I certainly that I will regret, and that I will beat myself up over. You don't have to beat me up over that. I have these like several air units. This may not reach even with drop tanks, but the P-51s and the P-51s. No, I don't think you can do a cap at extended range. So we couldn't have done the 11 hexes, but certainly with the P-38s we could have, and that's on me. I could have had 2 squadrons of P-38s covering that. Now the problem is when you fly cover like that, they don't all they're not all there. So they fly over here and they um like there's it seems like about 30% of them are there at a time. Okay, in China, the month forecast is just kind of more of the same. We're obviously gonna continue our operation here to kind of get be an annoyance, but and keep the line here, keep the line here. These things. We did take some damage here. I should probably I should just go ahead and allow this to find some replacements also. Now we're having supply issues, but I'm gonna go ahead and tick that on. And we'll take this on too, why not? Well, yeah. Um, some of these I would like to, let's take, are any of these 43 Chinese? No. Um, why don't we go ahead and take this smaller one? We'll just go ahead and let it upgrade. It is depleted enough. You know what? I don't want to waste good stuff here. These guys are trapped more or less. I can move them actively, but if they're defeated, they'll retreat. They won't retreat here, and so they'll be destroyed. So basically, these guys at this point, I'm probably going to leave them here to do just that, and we'll just fight until they succumb. And I think that's okay, and it's worth damaging him, keeping him bottled here, and we'll pick some of these. You know, let me go ahead and upgrade this. Yeah, we can upgrade the two that are also repairing. All right, and I think I'm going to leave the rest of these okay. Anyway, I'm going to kind of wrap it here, but this is the situation as it stands. I think uh, there's no outward push. I mean, there's no real objective except for holding. I am going to keep bringing air units in as much as I can afford, especially the Chinese ones, the ones that are um, like this guy that just came into the area. Am I misremembering something? Anyway, I thought we had a squadron of Chinese fighters coming in here, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. Anyway, oh, here's some more. Okay. Um, so these are going to have to be moved to the front because there's nothing here to keep them from uh, getting into the, getting damaged. Well, there's nothing to repair them when they do take damage. So we're going to get these guys in the front as well, including the C-87s. What I may do, I'm looking for a C-46 unit. I may bring one of these two down to Rangoon and fly supplies into Port Blair, especially since we can't get any transports into there. So that's what I'm going to do with these, with one of these two, and we'll go from there. Anyway, I'm very interested in what I'm going to be able to get out of the situation that I'm in. But we'll see, and you'll be able to hopefully observe in some kind of a future video, or either directly, or maybe I can talk about it after a turn. So, and as things develop. Well, I'll talk to you guys next time. I know this was a long, well, at least it feels long to me. But I will be back next time, and we'll talk about the 1st of December as we move into the second year. No, as we move into the third year of the war, as December 7 will be two full years. December 8 will be the start of the third year of the war. So we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.